how that happened.
For real,
I have no idea. Welcome back to the show. We're gonna wrap things up pretty soon. But I'll tell you what I look forward to. In the preseason, I look to one of the things now. Preseason for one doesn't. We don't think it needs to be 4 games long. I think at best it should be 3. I think you need preseason games, but 4 may be a bit much. I think 3 is perfect to get the starters tuned up and to evaluate your backups. I think the ones that may be on the chopping block as well, that's what 2 days and 3 days, that's what training camp is for as well. I mean, so you can schedule scrimmages and stuff, but what I look forward to is what kind of for preseason. Preseason's not really for teams who have coming off of championship years, but who knows? I look forward to seeing the type of progress that has been made for each team. What kind of progress? What kind of changes is there to see? I know here in Cleveland, you hear about the Browns. Let's face here in Cleveland, LeBron left. Cleveland got dumped basically. LeBron left. The Indians, they.
Let's just say they're not going to make it to the series. They're not making it.
Forget the series. They're not going to make it behind the sole of my shoes. That's how bad they are. Okay. So now you just rely on the Browns. I know there's a lot of optimism and stuff. And that first preseason game is a good indicator of that.
Tonight at 8 o'clock on Channel 3, Browns preseason game versus the Green Bay Packers.
Now, last year, the Browns usually play the Packers every year in preseason. And they actually played each other during the regular season as well. Now, Green Bay, the way their season ended, Green Bay, in a classic, thrilling, video game type playoff game against Arizona. The final was 51-45. That sounds like an arena football score.
That's the most points ever been in a playoff game history. They combined their points together. You said 51 plus what?
51-45.
That is combined total of 96 points.
That is beautiful math there. I'll tell you. That's a lot of points. And it ended. It was all offense, and
an interception.
It actually ended off of a defensive play. So now you're seeing, how will Green Bay respond from that in a tough NFC North division that we don't know if Brett Favre will come back. And I'm not even going to talk about Brett Favre coming back again, because it's like wiping off a wet spot on a table. You can only do it so many different ways, and that's how it is about talking about Brett Favre coming back. Just come back or not. But a very tough division. You got Chicago as well. Chicago, Jay Cutler. Last year, it took a while for Jay Cutler to kind of adjust to that team, but he kind of grown into that role, and a lot of big things is expected of the Bears. So in a very tough, we expect NFC North Division. As for the Browns, you got Mike Holmgren, team president. The environment, from sources that have been at camp, the environment is very different. Very different from what it has been before. You're going to see, can the Browns Will you see? Okay, how will Jake Delhomme perform? Let me just let you know right now. For Jake Delhomme, who was a Super Bowl, who was in the Super Bowl before, I mean, you will expect the expectations to be high on Jake Delhomme, but it's not. It's not at all. And it's because he struggled last year. His playoff game back in the 2008 season, which was January of 9, he had 5 interceptions. So when you have 5 interceptions and then you're hurt and don't do much the following season, your stock falls big time. So for that reason, even though he's had a lot of productivity in the past, not a lot of expectation from Jake Delhomme. So we'll see how he'll fit in with this offense. How about Seneca Wallace and Josh Cribbs? Will the Browns utilize the Wildcat? Okay? Well, so tomorrow we will break down all 32 NFL teams. We'll break them all down. We're supposed to break it down by division on past episodes and stuff, but it hasn't exactly gone that way. So we'll do a college cram into one. Break down all 32 teams. And then when we get to college, we'll break down in a week or so, we'll break down the top 25 as well in the polls. So is Terrell Pryor worth all the attention that he has gotten as a Heisman candidate? Is he truly worth it? So we'll talk about that as well. And coming up later this week, I will have another special edition of the show. Special edition of the show with me, Anthony Alford. Should college athletes get paid? Should college athletes get paid for doing their activities? Considering that college athletes, for the most part, cannot have any type of jobs. So should they get paid for what they do? Okay, I will go in depth on that on a future show. I'll say that show's coming up on Wednesday. Wednesday-ish. We're aiming for that show. So we'll talk about that. We're gonna wrap things up. Any final thoughts, Bewood, about you got any final thoughts on anything?
Nope.
Because I know you saw a clip from a previous show.
What?
From, let me think back, look, the exact date, July 30th. Any thoughts about that particular show?
Okay, what should I say?
We'll find out what he has to say when we come back.